Hello and welcome to my very first vlog post. And I am Sherry Murphy and welcome to my kitchen. So what is my why? Why am I doing a vlog post? One thing that I get really excited about, or I feel like is kind of part of my mission here on this earth, is to continue to make people's lives better and easier. And what better way to do that than by sharing? I don't care if it's about like what's the newest car wash in town that has free vacuums and is only $3 and you gotta go because it's amazing. I just love sharing and breathing life and positivity into this world. I am a learner. I enjoy learning new things to make our lives easier, make our relationships better, and make us better as people. How can I be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday? I also, what I've learned about myself is that when I read something or see something, I apply it. Like, I'm not just like, oh yeah, that's nice. Like, I have many notebooks, but a notebook where I like capture things down and then I try and make them happen in my lives to see what type of results I get and what happens. So I love applying information. I love taking notes. I love digging in deep and capturing things, not just to be like, okay, done with that book and on to the next one. So I am an applier. And then I do realize that I definitely like to talk and share. I'm always like, hey, did you hear about this? Like, I love to share. So that is my why. So now, like, what happened? What happened to trigger some of this? What happened to kind of turn me into this learner? Maybe like four years ago? I don't know if it's this whole midlife experience, but I just noticed a lot of feelings of discord. Discord with work, discord with friends, discord in my marriage, just discord. And I found myself having negative feelings a lot of the time. Wasn't like a depression or anything yet. It could have been on its way to that, but it was just these negative feelings, like what I was getting out of my day to day, interacting with my family, friends, all of that. It just, something was off. Kind of began, noticing around. Then one day I was out to lunch with a friend and, a friend who I used to spend a lot of time with. And then life has changed, right? So now different things are happening. So we're meeting for lunch to catch up. It's been a while. I'm sharing, it's like, oh, what's new with you? Oh, what's new with you? And I realize I'm going through my whole list of I have this, and then there's this, and there's this, and there's that. When I'm finished, she's like, oh yeah, so nothing's changed. And I was like, right? Nothing's changed, right? We're still, it's the same old, whatever. We finished lunch. And then I noticed like the next day, I just kept hearing, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm just really curious, like, what did you mean by that comment? And then I realized probably what was meant by the comment was just like, oh yeah, nothing's changed, life goes on, same old. What I realized is for me, I didn't like that nothing has changed. So I just kind of began paying attention and I came across some quotes, some things that resonated with me. And one of those quotes was, for things to change, I must change. I don't know about you, but I am fantastic at noticing what everybody else needs to do. My husband, friends, family, people I work with, whatever. I'm amazing at knowing what other people should do. Do you have that too? Right? And so I began to think like, wow, like I need to kind of take a look at myself. So I just started applying that in small doses. For example, one of the things that was frustrating in the part of the day was getting everybody out the door. Whether you have kids or not, like just getting everybody out the door. It was extremely frustrating to me, and this is what my son needs to do, and this is what my daughter, this is what everybody else needs to do. And then I realized how much it was a broken record, a pattern of same things happening. And then I said, you know what? Okay, I need to make some changes. What can I do to change this situation? So I kind of changed a few ways in which the morning ran. Instead of verbal directions, we now had checklists for them each to be responsible for. Take me out of it. I'm exhausted by the time it was, whatever time it was, getting out of this house. I was exhausted. I also could change my attitude and how I chose to show up, how I chose to see things. So that's another change that I made. Part of the discord in the life at the time of, what else happened was I just noticed in my marriage, right? Been married for, I don't know at that point, like 13 years. All the kids, we were kind of done with the diapers and stuff like during those times, right? Those of you who are in it or have been in it, you just know it's like almost like survival because there's just so much energy and care needed and you need to be so at the forefront of that. And now all of a sudden everyone's, able to do a lot more themselves. And these same arguments are still happening. The same pattern. So again, pattern. We've had this argument 150 times. It's not changing. We've done this. It's not changing. And so it was like, hey, let's get an outside perspective. somebody else to take a look in to help us see what we needed to see. Because sure, there are some things that I can change. Like, I know I'm not perfect. However, my husband, this is going to be great for him. This is going to be amazing because, yeah, he grew up way different circumstances, right? He had an alcoholic father, almost burnt the house down. Like, there is some serious stuff for him to get through. So I'll go because I know I have some things to work on, but this is what I'm really excited about. You know who needs to hear this is my husband. The first, I don't know, maybe the first 5 sessions, one of the things that the therapist shares with us is that we marry someone or hang out with or are in a relationship with someone who has similar arrested emotional development. So we have physical development. We all develop physically into adults. But how many of you have ever noticed a group of adults that act like children? Right? Like, I remember being like at work and be like, oh my gosh, this teacher's lounge is like junior high or whatever. It's like junior high. And we kept saying it, and now it just made sense. So, okay. So somewhere our emotional development was stopped. There are very few folks, a very small percentage of folks who are completely emotionally mature and developed. And then the rest of us, it stopped somewhere. So I was like, what? Because if my husband's here and I am similar, wow, I got a lot more work to do than I thought. So now I'm like, wow, that was a good awareness, not a fun awareness. I was really wishing there was a different answer, but okay, like, wow. And so I began taking a look at myself. One of the first ways that I noticed it, and I noticed this years before all this stuff started happening, but I noticed how I reacted to my kids. I remember being on the phone with friends and being like, man, last night I was rude I was mean. I also remember watching Super Nanny. Did you ever, if you're not familiar with the show, the Super Nanny would go into a home where there were some challenges happening, especially like kid behaviors, like parents didn't have control over their kids. And so the Super Nanny would go in and work with the families to shift and adjust. And I remember she was working with this one mom who would scream at her kids. And I kind of remember sitting there watching that and the mom saying to the kids, like, Mom is working really hard to not yell anymore. And I was like, oh, no, thank you. Because you know what? Like, that's how I was raised. That's how I am. That is me. And so they make me so angry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay. I don't have to work on it. Like, and I was interesting looking back how much I dismissed it. So clearly I was not ready to become a better version of myself at that time. I just love that. Okay. So that was one example in which it came out, but then I just started noticing how I would react to things. So for example, when something happens, an event in life, if we react with a behavior, eye rolling, huffing, puffing, yelling, jab comment, I'm good at those. Like, how do you say this to set that person off? Or how do you show them, oh yeah, I'm not stupid, or right? This all comes from our, we'll get into this probably later in videos, but it kind of comes from our not enoughness of not feeling enough inside. And so we have to prove to people that we're smart and capable and powerful and whatever it is that we have to prove. It has been a process, an absolute process of learning how to be different, of working through where that arrested emotional development comes from and how to understand it so that we can use more of our adult brain and show up the way I want to show up, which is as an adult. It helped me see that unless I change how I am, I'll always have what I've got. Unless you change how you are, you'll always get what you've got. And for me, I know I am ready for some different patterns, some different results than having the same patterns occur time after time. The only way to change that is from me. So my husband and I together have been, made the financial commitment, made the time commitment, and the commitment to us, because it's also a commitment to our children. When the two of us work together, then we know that we are doing a better job as parents to be the best parents that we can be. So that is what happened. What is my intention with this vlog? The reason why I am choosing to do this, number one, is because that I am learning that I have a lot of ideas, and so do you. We as humans don't lack ideas. We lack action. And so I have had this idea I am also recording my ideas and a whole bunch of different things in this awesome 99-cent notebook. I choose to use this notebook because it helps me work through some of my perfectionism. Okay, I love my little janky tabs. Like, this is like one of my many things that I carry around, but I am continually jotting down ideas. And then what usually gets in the way of us moving through with our ideas is our fear, right? So, number one is to move and take an action on an idea that I had. I like to talk. Why not do a vlog? I like to share. Let's do this. The second thing is that coaching my kids, right? They're 7, 11, and 14. And right now there's a lot of things out there and facing our fears and going and being uncomfortable and trying for things even though we may not get it and I'm like being a coach and then wondering, what fears am I facing? What am I modeling for them so that they know I'm facing a fear? My middle son and I are like this right now on this. He comes home every day. Did you film your video yet, Mom? Not yet. Did you film it? Like literally the past 2 weeks. I have been meaning to do this for at least 4 months, but then really serious, like today's the day, for about 2 weeks. Number 2 intention is to model for my children me facing fears. The other thing that's what it's about, is facing a fear. So if you have something, you've had this idea, and you're thinking about it, and you just haven't taken that action, what would happen if you just went for it anyway? I am so excited when my son comes home today to be like, yes, I did it, and to celebrate with him as we have been celebrating his opportunities to step into his fears as well. With that, thanks for watching the first vlog episode, and I look forward to sharing more in the future.